Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And yesterday, Neville Ray presented at the Morgan Stanley conference. And we have a great article here from Mike over at Light Reading, which I will leave in the description down below. T-Mobile's Ray updates his 5G layer cake analogy one last time. I don't think it's the last time. We're probably going to see Neville Ray before he retires at a few more conferences, probably some CTIA stuff. We're going to see him again more than likely at least two more quarterly earnings. So there'll be a few more times where we hear about this layer cake, and then likely after him, we will still continue to hear about the layer cake. So, very interesting updates yesterday that we got. I feel that, he was sincere about some things, about other things, it seems like may not be true, maybe pushing the truth a little here and there, but he's getting ready to retire, so he doesn't care. He's proud of the network that they built. More specifically, over the last 3 years since the merger, he's really excited about what this network is going to do in the future. And he talked about it in a very, he even said, it might sound like I'm arrogant, but I have the best 5G network in the entire world, across the globe, or one of the best 5G networks across the globe. So very interesting commentary from him on that. I mean, he does have the largest footprint in the U.S. when it comes to NR New Radio 5G. He started with low band in 2018. Been actually late 2017, early 2018, they started deploying the 600 megahertz on a dual band radio, which was 5G capable. So he started laying that foundation way earlier before any other carrier. And then, here comes 2020, April, they close the merger. They start, another overlay of midband onto that same grid. And they have about, roughly about a 3-year head start on the midband and, a 4 or 5 year head start on low band. So, of course, they're going to geographically have a larger footprint when it comes to 5G. But that's not to say that AT&T and Verizon don't have any coverage in those same areas. It's just LTE for the most part, right? AT&T is a little bit ahead of Verizon on that, and in some cases, actually quite a bit, I've seen the LTE outperforming T-Mobile's 5G. So, yeah, he's going to talk about the network and, the company that he's been working for the last 30 years. He's going to talk about them very positive, in a very positive way. But me, I have to look at it objectively, right? There are going to be scenarios quite a bit where a Verizon LTE signal is going to outperform 5G. Just going to happen. It's going to happen. I've seen it. I keep seeing it. That's why I feel Verizon and AT&T are really in no rush to getting that NR, more at scale outside of the city limits. Right? Verizon yesterday announces 200 million pops covered with C-band, which is a lot, but as soon as you leave the city limits, you're likely connected to LTE. They have a very small footprint when it comes to that foundation, that low band on NR. They will get there. Verizon will make progress this year. They will make more progress on that next year. But for now, they're really trying to scale the C-band as quick as they can because there's opportunity there to sell more revenue with fixed wireless access. So that took priority, right? On some sites where Verizon couldn't get the proper radios to fully upgrade everything and get NR, 5G low band, everything, and they could just secure the C-band, they would just go and add C-band. And everything else, they will have to go back. But it is very interesting to hear Neville talk, right? He's very confident about his network, in some ways cocky. But then, you kind of get the sense that he might be stretching the truth, right? Yesterday, he said that fairly recently, he now covers a larger geographic footprint on coverage than Verizon. But he wasn't clear after that fact, right? He didn't say that it was natively. He didn't say with roaming partners. He didn't really say that. He didn't say, was it LTE? Was it 5G? Didn't really discuss it. He just said that he now covers a larger geographic area, even bigger than Verizon, but still trailing AT&T, because he said that at another conference that he was not bigger than AT&T, but he's bigger than Verizon. He said that yesterday. And that kind of has you like, okay, is he really telling the truth here? Is he stretching it? Is he reaching? And so that's something to also look forward to, right? You know, a lot of areas where T-Mobile used to drop to no service, you could potentially now have roaming, which does not perform that great, but at least it's something, right? At least you can maybe call, send a text. And he said that's pre-Starlink. So outside of Starlink, he has the biggest geographic footprint, you know, versus Verizon. So very interesting that he said that, but that was part of the update. And just some of the other updates that he was talking about some AWS being refarmed and moved to 5G towards the end of the year. He did mention PCS. He also mentioned C-band DoD, but that's 2024 and beyond, right? He clarified that again yesterday. It's for congestion protection. That is not a full-scale deployment. Not, you know, it's part of the T-Mobile run rate, the 9 to 10 billion capex. It is not going to be a full-scale deployment. They're not just going to, you know, go into 2024 and then, okay, all the sites within the top 100 markets are going to get C-band DoD. Not going to happen. He's going to use that as congestion protection. If there's 20 sites that need more spectrum, right, in you know, El Paso, for example, right? We have both here. We have C-band and DoD. They are likely going to deploy C-band and DoD in the dual band radio on those sites that need capacity boosts, right? And same with other markets where they have C-band and DoD, and even in some markets where they only have C-band and no DoD, like Ocala, they're going to deploy that spectrum there if needed. But if there's a site where they're doing, you know, 1.5, 2 gigs downlink, there's no need to deploy C-band or DoD. For what? So, and then also he discussed, you know, aggregation coming. S23 is going to be the first device to make use of 4-carrier aggregation on 5G. And then voice over NR also was discussed, that it's not as reliable of a experience if your call and stuff drops to LTE while you're on 5G. So he's moving to 100 million pops, and then likely by the end of the year, very quickly, they'll probably move to 150 and 200 nationwide very quickly. And then, you know, as we progress through the rest of the year, and then next year, they will continue lighting up more voice over NR across nationwide. They cover 325 million pops now with low band. So they have the 5G footprint to move to voice over NR. May not be mid-band in a lot of those areas outside of the 300 million pops they plan to cover by the end of the year, but there is going to be some 5G in those areas. So that was all from Neville yesterday. Was about a 30-minute session from Morgan Stanley, and then he also presented at Mobile World Congress. Tidbits are in here of Mobile World Congress as well. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. He sounds very excited. Of course he would. He's not going to talk negatively about the company in any way, shape, or form. He's going to just move forward, you know, until it's his time to retire, which is August timeframe, if I remember correctly. Then Ulf will take over, and Ulf has been in charge of the network. I'll be very honest, just to throw this in. I've been talking to several people. They have kind of known about this for some time, that Neville was going to step down, and then Ulf was going to take over. And they've been telling me, and Neville also disclosed this yesterday, Ulf has been in charge of this entire modernization process, 5G, N41, 2020 merger. It's all been Ulf. You know, Neville has still been overseeing things, but the planning and everything, it has been Ulf. So the network should not skip a beat. There shouldn't be any reshuffling like Verizon. You know, the network technology officer is not going to be moved to run the business side. You know, Neville's would never do that. I don't know why Verizon is even trying that with Kyle Malady, but, you know, the network should not skip a beat. So make sure you guys stay tuned for more. Like, share, subscribe, follow my social media outlets. This is Tyrone with Tech Life. See y'all in the next one. Peace.